Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Toy Collector Review with me, Sergeant Geek. And today we're going to be taking a look at 4 new vehicles to add to our vehicle collection. These here are 4 model motorcycles from a company called Action Adventure, which I believe got the licensing to distribute the, I hope I'm saying it right, the Majesto vehicle line. These are really cool. Now before we actually take a look at the motorcycles themselves, let's go ahead and as always, take a look at the packaging. Now, as you can see, this is from Action Adventure. It's their 2-wheelers, their 1/18 scale replica motorcycles. Big open window there. These kind of look like the cheap little knockoffs, but don't get it twisted. These are some really detailed motorcycles. Here's the side of the box, the back of the box with all these licensing agreements with all the different motorcycle companies, plus a bunch of other legal mumbo jumbo. Hopefully my camera actually focuses on here. I can't really see right now. And we're able to get some good shots of the different types of companies that Action Adventure is going to be making motorcycles on. Now, it is a plain box. And I know these are, I'm pretty sure they got the licensing from that other company. Really hard to say the name. Mestio, which used to distribute these motorcycles in die-cast metal way back in the day. I'm talking about the early 90s. This company's been around. They used to do 1/18 scale die-cast metal cars as well. Really cool. But guys, let's go ahead. Let's get these motorcycles out of the box and let's take a closer look at some of the details on them. Alright guys, so let's go ahead. Let's start cracking open some of these boxes, and let's start off with the Yamaha MT-107. Shouldn't be that hard to get these out of the packaging. Very simple packaging here. There we go. And as always, we're going to need the screwdriver. So let me go ahead and get my screwdriver out. Hopefully this first bit will actually take care of it. Looks like it's going to do the job right. Now there we go. Got it out. Now let's clear some of this packaging away. Normally I save the packaging for certain collectibles, but Action Adventure, really not going to save the packaging. But let's take a quick look at the bike. As you can see here, if my camera is holding up on its focus, let's see. You can see lots of detail to the side of the bike. This doesn't have any fairings at the bottom. Pretty much the engine is exposed, and it looks really nice and detailed. This is really cool. I like the way they've done this with this bike. I haven't never seen one of these in person, but this looks like a cool bike nevertheless, just by this little model here. Once again, it has that little bump on the bottom for the stand. Not a big fan of that, but we can always take care of that later on. Once again, very nicely detailed. There's the name of the original company that used to distribute these back in the 90s. Once again, very nicely done, very cool. There's some more information at the bottom, links to that bump. But let's see if we can get a close look at the details of the gauges there on the handlebars. You should be able to see them, hopefully. And of course, it's got its kickstand to keep the bike standing up. So once again, it looks really nice. Let's go ahead, let's bust out the Yamaha and put this one there, and let's get the other Yamaha out really fast. Let's get this out of the box. All right, get the screwdriver. And there we go. Almost done. Get rid of the cardboard. And let's take a closer look. Now this one I believe is the Yamaha XV1600 Roadstar Custom. Very nicely done, just like the bike. I've seen one of these before. Lots of chrome on it, and just like the original, lots of chrome on this model here. Very nicely done. This looks like a very cool bike to actually go out and ride on. Lots of detail you can see with the windshield as well. Very, very cool. Now you don't really notice the bump on the bottom for the screw, and it has a different way of the kickstand coming out. It's got the foot rest pegs there, because as you can see, it has the pegs where you can actually use your heel and your toe at the same time to change the gears. Really, really cool. Like I said, this thing's got lots of chrome everywhere. The original does, and this one does too. Once again, very nicely done. As you can see, there's the peg for the hole. You can barely see it when looking at the bike. And with the Yamaha, the gauge is on the gas tank right there. There's your speedometer. So it looks really cool. Very nicely done. Let's go ahead and put this one off to the side. And let's check out the next bike. Okay guys, this one here is the Kawasaki Ninja ZX14R. Now I am not a big fan of the Ninja bikes. For the longest time, every time I looked at one, they are pretty much head to toe covered in fairings. The fairings cover the complete bike. And from what I've been told, whenever you have to do repairs on these bikes, there's so much of the fairing that has to come off that it's a pain in the butt. Never had to do any work on one, but as you can see here, this bike is one giant fairing kit. Still looks really good. Not much detail. You can't really see any detail of the engine really. The engine is really covered up really good on this bike. It's got lots of vents everywhere. It looks like a monster of a bike to be a street bike. But some people do like these. These Ninjas have been produced for a long time, since the 90s. Like I said, not my cup of tea. Too much of the fairings gets in the way, makes the bike look bigger than what it actually is. You can see the name of the bike right there. They did get very nice detail on it. And as you can see, it is dual exhaust. Really don't like the dual exhaust designs on some of these bikes, the way they do them. Here's the gauges with the way they're set up on the Ninja there. Oh, looks like the glass is out of place. We can fix that real quick. There we go. And once again, take a quick look. There's the gauges. It is what it is. It's still a cool looking bike. It's just not my preferred type of motorcycle here. So let's go ahead, let's put this off to the side, and let's get to the last bike that we have today. Now the last bike we have here today is the Honda VFR 1200F. This is a pretty big bike. Now once again, let's get all the cardboard out. Get the trusty screwdriver. There we go. Now as you can see, it's got some detail. The engine exposed there. It does have a lot of fairings on it. This is a monster bike. You can see that big monster exhaust there as well. This is a large bike. Now I do like Hondas. One of my favorite Honda motorcycles is the classic Honda CBR. Like those, actually got to ride an 1100. Really cool. Never got to ride one of these here. Maybe one day down the line I'll get to enjoy the ride down the street on one of these, but till then I'll just have to accept the model, which does look really cool, nicely detailed all the way around. Let's see if we can take a quick look at the gauges as well. Look, there's the bottom. You can see the screw hole is almost flush with the bottom panel, so it really doesn't expose. Now this is kind of weird. It's showing two exhaust ports, but only one exhaust. Like, I guess it's from another model and they just kind of made it to fit on this one here. Nevertheless, still pretty cool. Got that one little flaw, but that's it. Not a deal breaker. Because nevertheless, when it's on display, you're never really going to see that extra pipe there. Here's a quick look at the gauges there. Like I said, this bike looks like a very cool bike to ride. Looks like it'll probably be a lot of fun to actually get up on the road. Alright guys, now that's all of the bikes we have today, and I think this is where we're going to end the video for today. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up another episode of Toy Collector Review. Now when it comes to these action-adventure vehicles, are they worth collecting? I'm pretty sure they are, because the original company that they got these vehicles from, once again, it's kind of hard to say, the Maestro. The company that originally put these out back in the early 90s, it was a good company that actually made quality products, and they were collectible back then, so I'm sure these vehicles here are collectible just as the same. I can't really find anybody else that's making these motorcycles at 1/18 scale, except another company but they're only making Harley Davidsons. They're not making any other vehicles. So these are really cool. Now the action adventure cars, the diecast car series, not as much, because that's a bland, non-licensed car design. These are licensed. These look cool. And like I said, if you have the 1/18 scale collectible car sets, to actually have these alongside them would look really nice. And they do look great on the shelf. And it is not an expensive collection to start. These vehicles go for about $3 to $4 at Walmart, and I checked online. Other places are actually selling these cars, these motorcycles actually, for anywhere from $8 to up as high as $15. So to get them at Walmart at $4 a pop is a deal. Well guys, once again, we come to that point in the video where, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, become a member of this channel, hit that bell notification so you can be notified every time I put out a new video, and share these videos on all your social media platforms. And guys, do us a favor and smash that like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. And guys, if there's anything in particular you would like to see on this channel, go ahead and hit me in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get that out there for you guys. Once again, I'm Sergeant Geek, and I'm signing off.